Sandra here with us now, retired U.S. Air Force Brigadier General John Teichert. So Iran scraps the first day of negotiations because of Lebanon. I'm shocked.
Yeah, I don't think you're really shocked because I'm not. And it's an indication that on the day one of the post-MOU era, that they're delaying, that they're backsliding. They believe that they gained the initiative in this conflict the moment we started the first ceasefire 10 weeks ago. And this is them just shaping the post-MOU era to their favor.
Right. I mean, 4 IDF soldiers were killed, to which Israel retaliated. There was some back and forth. Iran bailed in the negotiations. Israel and Hezbollah said, okay, let's cool it. Nothing from Iran. I mean, why would anybody expect that these guys are going to honor any commitments that they've made?
No, they never have. And I shudder to think that now we're victim blaming Israel for responding against an existential threat that they've faced for decades. They're responding to hundreds of attacks against them just in the 10 weeks of the ceasefire. They're going to continue to do that, and we should support their right of self-defense.
All right, so in terms of victim blaming, J.D. Vance was at the podium yesterday. He also did a podcast in which he talked about Israel's reaction to the Memorandum of Understanding. Listen to what he said.
I find this whole freak out in Israel a little bit odd because I think that it comes from a place of mistrust. And I think that America has earned the trust of that region of the world. We've done a very good job by that particular country and that particular government. And I think that the idea that we've made a terrible deal is not supported by the facts, but just doesn't make any sense if you consider the broad length of the relationship.
What do you say? Is Israel right about this, or is J.D. Vance right about this?
John, I think there's one way to solve it, and it's for us to implement a maximalist version of paragraph 1 of the MOU, that it says that neither of the entities should threaten anyone, the United States or its allies and partners. And that means that we should expect Iran to stop chanting death to Israel and death to America and funding proxy groups and abiding by the sovereignty of Lebanon by defunding and disbanding Hezbollah, which has violated the sovereignty of Lebanon for decades now. If we abide and force them to abide by a maximalist version of that paragraph, then I think that we have an opportunity to see success here.
So, you know, Iran, as we said at the top, back to its old games. And this statement came out from ostensibly the supreme leader, although he hasn't been seen since the initial bombing, who said this: as you've been informed, a memorandum of understanding was signed between the presidents of Iran and America. And of course, it was the American president who, out of desperation, used all kinds of leverage to bring this about. To which President Trump responded on Truth Social: we didn't meet out of desperation. Iran did. They are finished. We'll play out the 60 days. They get no money, not 10 cents. With the antagonism coming from Iran, do you have any optimism that this process is going to bear fruit?
John, I don't, but I do want the president to be held accountable to make sure that Iran is not getting a single cent. By the way, that includes $6 billion a month of oil sales that now are facilitated by the lifting of the blockade.
Well, we're going to get money from that right away.
That's exactly right. So I'm concerned that now they are getting money. They're going to use that money to reconstitute and start the next cycle of their malign activities unless we truly hold them accountable.
You know, I was saying this morning that every time I see Iran say something, I'm reminded of that song by Al Wilson, The Snake, where the snake is cold and freezing and the woman comes along and picks it up and the snake says, oh, I promise I'll be good to you. And then at the end of the story, the snake bites the woman and she dies. And the snake says, what'd you expect? I'm a snake. I mean, it's the same thing with Iran.
It is in their nature. And unless there is a fundamental change to the regime, which I don't see having happened, then we can expect the snake to keep biting.
Great. Thanks, General. Appreciate it.
You got it. Thanks, John.
Sandra?
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.